What is up, everybody? Welcome to another live episode of the WrestleSense podcast. I'm your boy, Blaze McCoy. We got the boys ready in the back. We got a special guest we're going to bring on. We're going to talk about first matches, last matches, retirement matches, and all that good stuff. A lot of content to talk about, but we did do a special the other day covering Dynamite and Raw from last week, so check out that. We'll get into a little local focus at the beginning, and we do have in the description of this show a link to the entire 2PW Rectal Hall show. So you can watch the whole show for free right here on YouTube, INDYWrestling.us. It's a great show. You got CJ in his retirement match, finally back in the ring. You got Doc on the mic the whole time. It's a real good show. Make sure you guys check that out. But of course, we got to pay props to those in the chat. Wally's always here. Good to see you, bro. The man is here. Where's the man? Let me look. I don't see the man. Maybe it's Jesse. Just kidding. Wheels in the house. What's up, Aaron? How you doing? Crushing Kelly's in the building. Always a pleasure. We got Jesse from up in Canada. Good to see you. We got Andy down under as well. Where you go, Andy? There you are. We got people from all over the planet. I appreciate you. We are at show number 99. So we got the 100th show next week. Probably going to try to bring something special, something a little different for that show for you guys. Celebrating over 100 shows if you count all the special reports and the things we've done in between. So we're going to talk a little wrestling. We're going to talk AEW. We're going to talk WWE highlights of the week. NXT's Deadline was on. Final Battle's coming up tomorrow, actually. But we're going to talk local focus first. We're going to talk. You're going to get me for that, Wheels? Okay. I'll be waiting for you. So we're going to get into the six senses. We're going to talk 6 different topics. Just shoot the shit about wrestling. Everyone has their wrestle sense. Like who you want to like, boo who you want to boo, cheer who you want to cheer, hate who you want to hate. We'll be right. All right, so let's bring some of the boys on first, and then our special guest here in a little bit. Doc, how's it hanging, my man?
What's up? What's going on? Just here to talk about some wrestling and a hell of a weekend of indie wrestling. Let me say three great shows. 2PW was on Friday, and of course RWA and Ryse was on Saturday. So it was a night. It was a couple nights to remember, you could say. So
this area's booming, man. I love it. One that had his hand in the pot, so to speak, for the first time in the year. CJ, how you doing, bro?
Hello, everybody. I'm in pain. I feel like straight up hot garbage. Oh, Wills, by the way, men usually are capable of walking, so you're out there.
Oh, man. God. Love dogging him.
Oh.
He takes it like a champ, too.
I figured after Friday you were going to need one of those rascals like he does.
I'm
Jesus.
good. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. It'll make life a little bit easier to get around, but
did you see him reffing on a rascal? It'd be the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Wow,
GJ.
I don't know who GJ is, but
me neither. I mean,
actually, that's my friend's football team. He calls it. His name's Greg Jackson. He calls it GJ Watt. So maybe he means cheering for GJ Watt.
Anyways,
so, let's get into it. We had. Oh fuck. I'm really speeding through it. We did a little special report on it was Wednesday night right after Dynamite. Doc joined us. If you guys haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. It was a blast. Wait, wrong. I'm trying to find the damn layout.
What in the fuck are you doing? I still love you too, Wells. Always. I'm still going to push you down a flight of steps, though.
My man Spongy trying to get to 69 subscribers. There you go, Spongy. Good boy. So we talked a little bit about this. Me and Doc were here, so we got our takes on it. Definitely check it out. Over 250 damn views. People were checking it out. We talked about and I just want CJ real quick. Did you get the chance to see Adam Copeland and Christian Cage last week?
I did for the most part.
What'd you think about the ending is what everybody's talking about, obviously.
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah. Why do you think it was terrible? After hindsight, she had reason to come down because her boy got concerted last week.
Here's the thing.
Good.
It would have been a lot better had she not tried to tease who she was. She should have just come straight in and fucking just walloped Edge.
I'm with you on that one.
And I'd have been more okay with it.
Yeah, so, that's kind of the
or Christian Cage shoving his tongue down her throat.
Oh, good. That would have been funny too.
Or his cock.
Oh, Jesus. Speaking of cocks,
Warner Brothers will love that.
Let's get into our first of the six senses. We're going to go local focus here and discuss, a very highly anticipated match. CJ finally getting back in the ring after breaking his foot. Supposed to have matches throughout the year against Preston, but the big payoff was at Wreck the Halls. Once again, if you haven't seen it, right in the top of the description of this show, click the link. You can watch the whole show, a free show of 2PW. You can see what the best of the best around here can do, and it was a hell of a show. Amazing tag match, amazing championship match. You have to check it out. I'm telling you guys. Monstar, there he is. I think his manager opinions. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So we're going to talk about the match itself. We had CJ talk about it last week. Said win, lose, or draw. Preston was going to feel it. I think CJ's also feeling it now.
Yeah, you probably can't. I'm all balled up there. My knee is still black and blue. I mean,
your elbow looks like something from like Ashy Larry from the Chappelle show.
That was the table spot, right? Because I saw you go to your elbow right after the table.
Correct.
Spot.
I looked down and seen a bunch of red. I'm like, I guess I cut it open somehow on that fucking table. So,
but no DQ. It was pretty much a brawl. You guys took a 360 around the ring, visited the announce table and everything. Oh yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I gotta give credit where credit is due. I mean, Preston Everest is one tough mother trucker. The kid's got a great mind for the business, and now that I'm not going to say I'm officially retired because that's just lame. Everybody does that, but I have zero desire whatsoever to wrestle again. I'm good. My body took a beating, but thankfully I came out on the victorious side, and it was painful. And like personally throughout that day, I was not feeling the greatest. And I'm like, man, I sure hope I could turn it on once I get out there. And I feel like I was capable of doing so. So that's, I mean, I was very happy with how it turned out. And if it is truly my last match, which I have all the plans in the world on that being the case, I'm happy with how it finished.
I mean, 2.5 decades in the business. We're talking about someone who's been through it a lot for a long time within the business. Doc, from the commentating point of view for this match, seeing your boy get tossed around and then...
I tell you, you want to talk about, I had a full set of shorts whenever they did the wall spot.
Oh, yeah.
He chucked him in the wall, and what hits first, the wall? Not his head, not his body, at damn ankle.
Yeah.
And I was just
well, no, it wasn't the ankle. It was more so my knee and my entire leg. But yeah.
I mean, the way it cracked off the wall, the way it sounded, it was just like I said. But it was a match for the ages. It was really good to see CJ Sensation walk away, though, the winner. You know, even though his body doesn't feel like the winner, you know, he did prove a point that he can still get it with the best of them.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was a great match. And I'm not going to take anything away from Preston Everest. Preston Everest is going to be here for a while. And like I said before, CJ said it, I've said it, you know, I think Preston Everest is probably one of the most underrated workers in indie wrestling today. This kid should be on TV. This kid should be doing, bigger things, and he will one day. It's just like I said, but my God, he like I said, it was such a hellacious match, man. They beat the shit out of each other.
How old is Preston?
He's about 26, I think.
That sounds about right.
He's like young. He could technically be your son, CJ.
I mean, yeah, he could. And again, he doesn't need my stamp of approval. I promise you that. But he knows he has it, you know.
Even, I mean, I've seen him only a handful of times, but 2 years ago, the first time I saw him, to what he's doing now. And anybody, he's gotten a lot better, in my opinion. And anybody could have a last match and a final match where it's, you know, wrestling holds and just keep it safe in the ring for you. But no, this was not a safe match. This was a brawl. But I want you guys to check it out. I mean, CJ going out, you know, the way he should. Give IndieWrestling.us. Put it in the comments that WrestleSense sent you. The link is right in the description. Please go back. The Jameson match was amazing. The tag team matches were amazing. Everything about that show screams amazing indie wrestling to me. I mean, you got a little bit of variety of everything. You got big title matches. Go check it out. Do yourself a favor. We preach it for 100 episodes now that you guys should see more of what we see in Pennsylvania.
Right. And us just talking about, I don't think does it enough justice when you're able to go watch it for yourself, you know?
Yeah. And you can watch the whole damn show, things in between, everything. And it's definitely worth a watch. So check it out. And it is wrestling, so never say never, CJ. But I get where you're coming from.
Never say never. But I promise you, I have zero desire whatsoever to get back in there.
The pasta death match is a must see. So you guys got to see that show. It had a little bit of everything. So I mean, last match, we're going to talk a little bit more about retirement matches coming up in one of the Six Senses. But what I want to talk about is a friend of the show and someone who is on the opposite side. He's just starting his pro wrestling career. We've seen him in the chat. There's a belt in your hand. We've seen him on my eFed for a couple years. He's been on my talk show, cutting promos. He's going to have his first ever singles matches. Now, he's talked about paying the dues, and we've talked about it here. He's put the ring together. He's cleaned up the garbage after all the wrestlers. He's done all the dirty work that you have to do to become a pro wrestler. He's been a referee, and you're going to see in this next shot, he's taken some bumps, and referees take bumps. What's up, Bodie?
He's got back from wrestling practice.
There's another one that someday will be celebrating his first pro wrestling match.
I hope. I get to call it. That's gonna be my dream come true. So.
But House of Glory up in New York, we talked about way back in one of our first shows. I went back and watched it for the 100th show, and Riley was in the chat explaining he's been, being trained by Amazing Red, working with people up in New York, and now he's finally going to have his first match coming up, singles match, but. Look at the bottom picture first. This was a show not long ago in HOG where one of the referee got taken out and the other refs would come down to try to save him. And that's Cardona laying out our boy Riley. So he's taking a nice shot from Matt Cardona. And Franco Costanzo, the last Bronx Italian, is who we're going to talk to here in a minute. Y'all have heard Riley Wolf. Now we're going to hear the last Bronx Italian fighting Badlands August in LPW in New York, coming up December 15th. Tomorrow, his first match ever. So
I like that logo, man. That logo's the Def Jam Fight for New York logo, the old video game.
Yep.
That's badass. Love it.
So, Santana is the world champ up there now. Matt Storm's in the building. Good to see you. So let's bring him on. Let's talk to the last Bronx Italian, Franco Costanzo. What's happening?
It's a pleasure to be on, Paisans.
Hey, good to see you. I mean, I hear that you love pineapple pizza up there in New York.
Absolutely not. I'm absolutely revolted by pineapple on pizza.
Thank God. Okay.
So,
yes.
Son of a bitch, please.
For those that don't know, him and me got put into a War Games match as our characters, where the losing manager had to eat pineapple pizza live on the air. So him being a New Yorker, I said, let's make that a stipulation. So my team defeated his team, and he had to eat pineapple pizza on the air. It was great just to see his face have to eat that pizza. I never said I didn't like it, so I had a pineapple pizza also, so I rubbed it in, nice little swerve. But that's neither here nor there. What I want to talk about is your first match. Give us a little bit of idea of, I told people a little bit about the things you've done up there to earn your dues, and now to get to this match. Tell us about the rise, the climb through the pro wrestling ranks from Franco Costanzo.
Yeah, so I started training October 2019, and this was when we were in our old location back in Ridgewood. Like I claim to this day I'm the last like real student of like that old House of Glory mentality. And so is my opponent, Badlands August. So we learned pretty much everything together. We did our bumps together, our first tie-ups, our first training matches in front of Red himself were against each other. And we, throughout the years, eventually were ready to have our first matches in our new home, the NYC Arena at Missouri. Our first match, our first time actually wrestling in the home base of House of Glory and now LPW, our student promotion, was against each other in a six-way, but still, like, our careers are intertwined together. But something happened in between us starting at the same time and that first match where I got ready before him. I was in front of a crowd, I'd say about 4 or 5 months before him, refereeing for House of Glory, and then eventually taking dates in other indie promotions. I've worked for such places as Warriors of Wrestling, Invictus Pro Wrestling, SWF out in New Jersey. So I've been around, and August has yet to leave the state of New York and have left this current promotion. So I have the experience advantage against my opponent. And I'm going to use that to my best abilities when I take on Badlands August. And it's gotten a little personal.
I saw even that you invaded his hometown bar looking for the man before the fight, which is a nice little promo. If you guys haven't, there's a belt in your hand. Find him on social media. You can see that little promo where, he's looking for the guy outside the place. And now you're finally going to go one-on-one with him. I mean, so I'm going to give you a minute here just to give it's tomorrow night. So first, before that, is there anything you guys want to ask Riley going into his first match?
Not really so much ask him, but maybe some advice.
Sure.
Just go out there, don't overthink it, have fun, work for the crowd, not for the boys. These are all things I'm sure you already know. So good luck to you, man. I'm looking forward to hearing about it.
Good luck, and pineapple pizza disgusts me also.
Definitely tomorrow night, Franco Costanzo will be having his match against
Blaze, you
Badlands.
fucking Mark.
I know. Well, he's Riley in one world, and he's there you go. You're getting a lot of good luck.
There we go. Yeah.
Good lucks. Everyone wishing you well. So I mean, your match is tomorrow. So Riley, you got a minute here to cut yourself a little promo on this Badlands August guy. I'll give you a minute, give you a solo layout. Tell us about getting ready for this match. What's your plans for tomorrow night?
See, last time me and Badlands August shared the same building together, I broke his hand and got suspended from LPW to begin with. So there's a lot of tension going into this match, and I'm going to take advantage of every single second I can. When I have the upper hand, you know I'm going for that hand that I broke 2 months ago, and I'm going to re-break in that match and win in my first. It's both of our first ever singles match, but I feel like I am the favorite to win because I have the experience advantage. And August is just a kid playing dress up. Honestly, look at him. He's a cowboy kid. He looks like an idiot.
Hey, we're rooting for you, man. It's going to be. We'll have to bring you back on to find out what happened. But good luck, there, Paisan. Go get him. Forget about it.
No, thank you. But
it's always a pleasure. Riley Wolf in the building, our buddy from the show. There we go. Let's move along. Hopefully he's not taking shots like Cardona. I don't think that guy's as big as him, but good luck to my man, Riley, coming up tomorrow night. Number 2, we're going to go back a little bit, just real quick. Did you guys get to watch Deadline?
I did.
I didn't get to watch it.
So part of it was the surprise that CM Punk showed up. So he played his music, he rolled out, basically teased, I might join Raw, I might join SmackDown, I might join NXT. And then he walked out. So they're giving us a slow burn with him. I was talking to CJ before the show. I don't really mind it giving us little tidbits here and there and not dumping all a bunch of Punk stuff on us. So far, up till this, Doc, what do you think about how they're giving us little bits of Punk?
I don't mind it. I mean, I do like the slow burn. I like the little tidbits here and there. I shared the, which is, you can see my little profile underneath, Jamaican Me Crazy promo with Kofi, which I really loved because some fact they are actually best friends in real life. He actually shared a bus with Kofi. They played video games on their travels for the WWE back in the day. So it was really cool to see them reunite. And it's just cool how it's just little bits here and there. Now he has a permanent place with Raw. And the Seth Rollins and Punk promo was fire, so I'm excited about that. I do want to say some well wishes to Ilya Dragunov. He got dropped on his head, and
you do realize it's a work.
It's a storyline. It is definitely. It came out last night.
My God, it was so good. Well done now.
But it made you think of some of the injuries we've seen recently that could be that were serious and real, and they sold it. And mixing reality with wrestling is always a part of it, man. You see it a lot. So CJ, the Punk appearance, and anything that stuck out to you in Deadline?
I am a Dragon Lee guy, and the thing that stuck out to me the most about Deadline was Cora Jade's chest. So.
Yes, those were definitely sticking out.
Yeah.
Those were definitely sticking out. So they
all kidding aside, she's a superstar, and so is Tiffany Stratton.
Yes, big time. They are above and beyond developmental, in my opinion. So you had Trick Williams win the men's, and Kiana James won the cage match. Blair Davenport won the women's.
I'm okay with that. I like that. Yeah,
me too. Dom.
I love it. Yeah, Dom should be the one to beat Roman.
Shout out to Jay.
I mean, I think Dom aside, how about some R-Truth, baby?
Truth is gold right now, man. So definitely the Dragunov match. I love everything Dragunov does, really. Axiom beating Nathan Frazier too in this match. It was a good show. It was a good show, mixing that new concept of the Iron Survivor. Last year we got one taste of it. This year, the same thing. It's a good way to get multiple people involved into contendership. But good show. I dug it.
It was solid. Maybe not the most sound storyline wise, but it was good.
Yep. And then Doc mentioned it, so we're going to talk about on this third topic of the Six Senses. They just threw it. Seth right out there, which I love. I also read there was no producer for this segment, so these two guys put it together themselves and do the best on the mic, obviously. Doc, elaborate. I mean, you said it was fire. Tell me a little bit more about, what this may bring and what you thought of the promos. Both
just the hatred on his face and just the simple fact is he told the truth. CM Punk did rip the WWE down for a long, long time, and he's still bitter about it. Everybody else is being a little bit forgiving, not Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is, this is my house now, and you're just a guest.
Yeah.
However, question being is, I do love the way the CM Punk handled it because, CM Punk could have thrown out a couple jabs, but instead it was, "Are you done?" I loved it. I loved the way he handled it. Very cool, very crass, very, and I hope they bring up the past a little bit with these two, especially with the Shield and him bringing the Shield in as hired hand, stuff like that. I hope they elaborate a little bit more on that. Let the story build. It's built. It's just you got to elaborate with it. So I really liked it.
So I've seen segments that were interviews or
Jason to answer that question. 1,000% yes.
Yeah. And that's what I was. Normally I've seen rundowns where they say this guy produced the match, this guy produced this segment, this guy produced this segment. So now CJ, this we talked about it before. Great promo, but it was kind of reminiscent of another promo.
I'm not sold like Doc is, which is okay. It was fire. It was good. But if you, again, I'm going to probably repeat what I said before we even went on the air, which is probably what you were expecting anyways.
You got it.
It was good. It was real. But if you look at transcripts, almost word for word verbatim, Seth said the same exact fucking thing to Cody Rhodes when Cody came back. So
yep, you laughed.
I think more highly of Seth to do and be able to do something different, which we know he can.
Yes.
But for your typical wrestling fan, which I am not, it was good. It was good. I have zero problem with it. And that's what people expected. And I think people wanted more zingers. But if you're going to slow burn it, which they should, there should not be any zingers. It should be exactly what it was. Yep. I would have liked maybe some different choice words, obviously, from Seth, because I know from the Cody promo that it was almost exactly the same. So that's the only problem. And it's not a problem I have with it. It's just, again, I watch wrestling differently. So.
But CM Punk came out and said, everyone's here to complete their story. His is the main event WrestleMania. He didn't say to get the championship. He said the main event WrestleMania. To me, and I've heard this a lot of other places too, this feud does not need a world championship to be a huge Mania match.
It doesn't.
So I'm kind of hoping someone can get that belt off of Rollins beforehand and maybe Punk and rub it in. And this even there's so much fuel to this feud. The title doesn't really need to be part of it.
I think my favorite part of this, even though Punk had to get the last word, which is fine, was that, hey, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble and maybe I'll come after you instead of Roman. Which typically, if you're Punk, you go after Roman regardless. But in this sense, in this iteration of it, I would be completely fine with him choosing Seth. Over Roman.
And we talked about it before, and we mentioned it earlier in the show already. Mixing a little bit of realism, like Santana and Ortiz is a good example. They really had hatred, but they put it aside and they fought each other on AEW not long ago. These two don't like each other, but that's okay. Let them get, and they're agreeing for the better of the business to put it aside and have this program. I don't know. We'll see where it goes from here. It's going to be mighty interesting.
Let me ask you a question. Sure. Well, both of you guys, do you like to make money?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I love it.
So does Seth Rollins and CM Punk. End of story.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing. This is money. This is fucking money. We'll talk more and more about it as it builds.
If you think about it, we talked a little bit about that when CM Punk had his bullshit with the Elite and everything like that. CJ said the best. You put them all in a room. You say settle out your differences, and yes, we are going to make money off of this. So figure it out.
Yeah, and they're figuring it out in WWE product. I'm going to tell you right now.
Are you surprised? I'm not.
No.
I'm not.
No. Raw was a great show. I enjoyed Raw from start to finish, and I liked it. We'll get to AEW because I think the tournament singles matches are some of the best in-ring stuff I've seen this year. I'm really enjoying what they're doing, and there's a lot of possible storylines for that. We're going to get to AEW in a minute. Just want to touch base on this. Or your U.S. title tournament. Just we do picks, and I love being wrong when we do picks and predictions and stuff because I like to be surprised. So, CJ, starting with you, who do you think's going to walk out of this tournament?
Who do I think and who do I want?
Yeah, you can give us both
things.
You can give us both.
Who I think is going to be Bobby Lashley, and who I want would be either Escobar or Carmelo Hayes, actually.
Yes, Carmelo is the NXT superstar that was there. This was not announced when that happened. But what about you, Doc? You got any thoughts on?
Yeah, I want Grayson Waller to do it.
Yeah, it'd be a nice little push for him.
Everybody I like heel champions. I think, like the whole Roman thing. Look at how just people they watch it, not just to cheer him, but to also see is it time. It's a time for him to get that, to take away that belt. And I feel that Grayson Waller, he knows how to rub people the wrong way. I feel he's a very good on the mic. His ring skills are amazing, and like I said, I'm just excited to see it. Carmelo Hayes, though, I think this is where you introduce him. I think this is where you do propel him to go on. Like CJ said, there's people that you think are going to win, think you're going to win, then there's the ones you want to win. I want Grayson Waller. However, I have to agree with CJ. I think Carmelo Hayes goes and runs the table, and this is what makes him a prominent factor in WWE in that transition from NXT to WWE.
I love it. Now, Priest still has the briefcase too. He's had it for a damn long time. Will he cash it in? I mean, we'll find Escobar, and that'll be another one to see, get a nice big rub. I mean, this is the program probably before what we see for Mania, I would guess. Whoever wins this is going to fight U.S. champ way before Mania, unless they want to drag it out. I don't know. But we'll see how it unfolds. I'm a tournament guy. I love tournaments, so that's just me. Some people can't stand. They think there's too many, but not me. I love them. I love tournaments. So speaking of tournaments, let's talk about last night's Dynamite. You got 3. I mean, you can throw a dart at the wall with the competitors in this tournament and have a good competitive match.
Can I just flip out real quick? Because I really didn't get a chance to watch Dynamite, but I saw a photo today that is making me lose my fucking mind. And this is like multiple times within the past several weeks that this has happened. Fucking Swerve's shoulder was not on the motherfucking mat. God damn it.
I think that's going to come into play. They were I heard Fightful talking about that too.
That should have been a tie. It should have been a tie.
I think that's going to come back, and those two will end up fighting each other again. I got the scoreboards we'll put up here in a minute and talk about that, because there's a lot of possibility. There's a possibility of a triple threat, a 3-way tie in one of the divisions. Well, a lot of people are knocking down. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. If you watch the Golden Jets promo with Ricky Starks and Big Bill, it kind of looked like they said, go out there and talk and see what happens, like no guidance. But
I heard it was real bad.
It was pretty cringy. It was pretty cringy. It was like they were trying to make up stuff as they went, and it wasn't that good, especially with 4 big stars. I mean, they called him a better Ricky Starks, a better dressed Enzo, stuff like that. And
Jericho, the comment was pretty good.
Yeah, some of the comments were good, but
Omega credit for that one, but it was cringy.
It was kind of cringy. The Von Erichs came back. They're going to fight on a 6-man match. They obviously promoting the hell out of the movie that CJ actually got to see a premiere last night.
I did. It was good. It was very dark, but I was into it.
I heard someone else say the same thing. They're like, don't go there expecting some big rah-rah wrestling show.
Yeah, no, it's not, but it shouldn't be.
If you know the story of the family, you know
that ain't the true story of the Von Erichs.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people were saying they could have if they would have had Christian Cage interrupt those 2 boys. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have the Von Erichs there. I didn't get to watch it yet, but they did something with Danhausen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Orange Cassidy came up and said, I want to team with you 2 with my triple threat. And Danhausen said, you're turning your back on us. You're betraying us. Because his boys were there, but he wanted to tag with the Von Erichs because they're in Texas. That was the reason. Why? Because it's Texas. Okay. And, it was a silly Danhausen comment, and Orange Cassidy will team with Marshall, and I can't remember the other one's name right now, of the Von Erichs. We'll see what they got on Friday night. I can't believe they're doing Rampage, which is the same night as the ROH pay-per-view.
Rampage is probably already taped.
Yeah, but those are 2 of the same owner product. You want people, between your own product? It doesn't make sense.
Well, a lot of things aren't making sense in AEW
William George wants to
right
call.
now,
Hey, maybe
so-
Yeah,
we'll.
my friend wants to call in, and I was like, "There's no call-ins."
We
And-
have our 100th show next week. Maybe we'll open up some call-ins and have some people
Yeah.
stop in. You
How
never
about
know.
some write-ins? Write-ins.
So, yeah, we'll have people write. Yeah, Ross and Marshall. That's
Yeah.
the other one.
Who, if correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're both doing very well in MLW.
Yeah. Also, Hammerstone's contract is up at the end of the year. We might see him somewhere else. He was a teammate with MJF in that company. I don't know if that'll come into play. Let's discuss it a little bit. There was this little. We're going to talk about the Devil, of course. This list of people that'll never beat him for the Triple B. You know, you got Hangman, Jungle Jabroni, who a lot of people are saying he could be the Devil, which I really hope he's not. The American Dipshit Dragon, Warho. He's, and he's cleaning off this list. Now, they had the angle at the end of last night where Hangman got attacked. So now everyone's saying it can't be Hangman. I have a take on this. And the payoff is going to be at World's End. If you're going to have a World's End pay-per-view, to me, something big needs to happen. This cannot be underwhelming, in my opinion. They have an opportunity with the firepower that Tony has in name recognition and people. Now, don't take this wrong. Let me finish before people draw their conclusions. I want an NWO style of happening, but not like the NWO. I just want a shocking, oh my God, these guys are coming together because they're sick and tired of MJF's title reign, because he's using the ring. He's all buddy, lovey comedy with Adam Cole, and these people are sick of it. So why not make it sense, of course, story. I mean, I've heard two things from Fightful over and over. Number one, the people in the outfits are playing who is going to be unveiled, which I don't know if I buy that completely, but I hope. Number two, they all have problems with MJF. So you look at this list, could it be a combination of BCC people, and
I can't
Undisputed?
see the ones that are circled in green. I see Warho.
Yeah, he has Wardlow, Edward, which is Kingston, and Sensitive Cowboy, which is Hangman. So,
Okay.
these people have problems with him. So if you go back and think who has had problems with him, Adam Cole. I've heard people say Britt could be the Devil. The Devil did step out of the car, but you didn't see his leg, so they didn't show like it could have been Adam Cole limping. So a lot of people were saying Cole, which it would make sense
To me, the only thing that makes sense is Adam Cole is the Devil.
But like, who are the other four? We looked at that picture last week that really looked like Claudio, but it's hard to pull. These people that are in the tournament, they have stories, they have things going on. BCC, could they be mad at how the company? I'm like, these guys should come in like an NWO and say, we want to reset this company. It's not going the right way. Let's change things. We all have a common goal to get this fucking MJF. He's a ruse. He's not your scumbag. He's playing everybody. And we want to change things. Like I've heard the Kyle O'Reilly coming back. Could be them. It could be the Kingdom. I don't know. Doc, do you have any thoughts on who you want it to be, who it could be? I want to be surprised.
I would be surprised too.
I want it to be big.
I hope it's someone that is just like out of the. I would lose it if it was just someone out of the ordinary. Like, oh my God, holy shit! Why the fuck would he do it? Or why would she do it? That'd be even better. Let's see where it goes.
What if it's Lana and because she's been recruiting people and she gets all the big names. I hate to do WWE people, former WWE people, trying to take over. You get
Why? They're well known. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying if you're going to go big, it would be Miro, Andrade,
Dolph Ziggler.
Think about
throw
this.
Ziggler with them.
Think
Go
about
ahead, Doc.
the MJF promo. They're like his "Fire Me, You Fucking Mark" promo, where he literally said, "Oh, it'd be really good, but Tony keeps signing all these ex WWE guys," and there it is right there. Like you could go back to that, like have that replay on one of the Devil's promos, like have him just say that line, and then everybody be like, "Oh, wait a minute,
yeah,
who could this be?" Sean Spears
has a problem with MJF. He's another one. People are saying to Jack Perry because they keep doing the glass spots, and I hope it's not.
I thought that too, especially last night when they did Hangman on the card.
Well, that's what people want you to think.
And
so
I love
if that was me, I would make sure it's not Jack Perry.
Yes, keep teasing other people. They teased Hangman.
Can
Yeah, go ahead, CJ.
Can I answer Monstar's question, please?
Yes,
here's what should be done with ROH. ROH should be shut down. It's irrelevant. It's not needed. And I think that they need to turn AEW itself into more of a version of like an NXT with a smaller scale, smaller venues. I believe I read something, and this is just internet hearsay. I'm not taking it as completely valid, but they've lost $34 million this year.
Now they have record earnings, but that doesn't count spending. Their earnings are through the roof compared to the last couple of years.
Their earnings could be through the roof, but still netting a loss of $34 million is not good.
Yeah, you can't do that every year, no matter how many billions his dad has. I'm kind of with you on that, CJ. I was gung-ho, the history of ROH and everything, but it's not working. And they need to consolidate, in my opinion, as well. I'm kind of with you on that. Exactly, Kelly. Why not throw all the misfit toys together? Make them the devil and the guys who want to change the company. Yeah. That's where I would go with it. What's up, AK? Doc, what about you? What about you, the ROH thing? What do you think about it?
I can live with or without it.
Yeah, I wish it would be different. But
I mean, my friend Cole Carter is getting our friend, me and CJ's friend. Cole Carter is getting that's where he's getting the spotlight at right now. He's on there, and I don't want to see anything bad happen to him. So
I'm sure he'll be just fine.
I mean, they could still house all those people. Now,
I really like what they're doing with him and Maria. So
the smaller venue thing, Monstar, I agree. But here's the thing: you book these shows a year in advance. So to cancel a bunch and change them probably isn't going to happen. If they do in the middle of 24, maybe they're already planning to go to smaller venues. I would agree with that, but they can't change what's next.
I would much rather have a full 5,000 seat venue where people are going to be way more into it than a 20,000 seat arena with only 4,000 people in it, and it sounds like people are sitting on their hands.
Yeah, agree. Now, I don't want to dwell on that because to me, as long as you can show the TV product without showing that and make it sound good and produce it well, it's still a good show. And I think the shows have been a lot better the last few weeks.
You know why they've been better? You've already said it, and you just put a graphic up. That's why it's been better.
These matches, like I said, you could throw a dart at the fucking wall and put two together. It's going to be a good wrestling match. And now we're down to a couple people. It could be Jay White, Strickland, and Moxley. Like Strickland taking that loss to Moxley, a lot of people are saying it doesn't make sense, but I'm waiting to see how it happens. You said it. His shoulder wasn't down. He had a handful of tights.
That drives me. I'm okay with the handful of fucking tights. His shoulder was like fucking up like this.
But I think that might be part of the story. I'm hoping it is because it looked bad. He can have a gripe because it looks like he's going to have to fight Moxley again unless Jay White loses to Roosh.
And that's not happening.
But Strickland,
and again, you never can tell with this tournament. I mean, a lot of people thought Eddie Kingston was going to roll right through. As far as I'm concerned, he just literally threw his titles.
If he wins the last two, he'll be in at least the finals of the bottom bracket, and that would mean Andrade losing 2 in a row. But someone's got to lose. That's the thing. These are great performers. Someone's got to lose. I think Swerve loses out because he needs to be in the world title picture. My opinion. He is hot. He doesn't need this Triple Crown thing.
Here's where you're wrong, though. He loses this out to move on to the world title, which I don't disagree with you on that. But that takes a lot of the steam that he has going for him, just like losing last night did. Yeah. Do I think it's going to affect? Do I think it's going to affect him? No, I don't. But he should have fucking won last night.
I think I wouldn't even mad if Swerve wasn't in this tournament because then he could have ran. Because we got Joe and MJF end of the month. Then who's next? Swerve needs to be in that picture, man. He is that hot as a wrestler, as a performer, as a character, everything. So, I mean, on the top, Moxley, Strickland, and Jay White have an opportunity to three-way tie. And if they three-way tie, or if any of those three have a tie in their last match or two, they're going to be out. because the other one will have more points. So, I mean, to me, I see Kingston winning his last two, and he'll fight Danielson in the blue final.
Yep.
And it'll be Moxley, Strickland, and Jay White, probably maybe a triple threat on the top, which means Strickland doesn't have to get pinned. So his last match could be a match where unfortunately, Jay White taking another fucking pin.
I'm not into that though, but I feel you.
But it seems like, the way Kingston put himself out there that he's going to be in the final, but Danielson or Kingston, no wrong answer for me. Moxley, Strickland, White, no wrong answer for me. It's going to be great.
Hello, Chris Wrestling
What is
Views.
up? Welcome to the channel, my friend. Good to see you. Make sure you hit that like if you're digging it. Subscribe. We're here every Thursday night. We do some special stuff as well in between, like we're about to do here. We talked about AEW, talked about WWE. We talked about CJ's retirement match. Let's talk about retirement matches, and we'll follow this Gold and Blue League next week as well and see how it turns out. All these matches are so good in ring. I have a couple people that stopped watching AEW whenever the Punk thing went down and everything. You guys need to give it
they're not real wrestling.
Yeah, you got to give it another chance right now because it is getting a lot better. I knock it when it's not good, and I prefer AEW for the in-ring stuff more. If I want to show a spectacle, WWE's doing phenomenal right now. They are amazing, but they're the spectacle, they're the entertainment, they're the show.
And that's what AEW needs to do more of.
Yeah, they do. But me personally, I've always enjoyed wrestling matches feeling more like a fight. I mean, I like the fight. I mean, fights aren't perfect. Fights will have mishaps, so I'm not.
But fights can be entertaining though too, yes, and that's what this is. Let's be honest.
Fights can tell a story without having a recap 75 times. Appreciate that, Chris. Appreciate that, man. I'm just the host. These guys are in the indie business. Doc does commentating, CJ referee, wrestling, and all that good stuff for over 2 decades.
More so producing now, thankfully.
Yeah, we are just dudes talking wrestling, man. Bunch of friends shooting the shit about wrestling. We don't shit on people's opinions. Well, some people do. I mean, welcome.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do.
We welcome everyone's opinion. You can be wrong. You can have it, but you're allowed to have your own opinion. Let's talk retirement matches. Or ones that you can't talk retirement without the salmon suit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just had to
greatest thing ever. Greatest thing ever.
So top left corner, you got Rock and Austin, 2003, WrestleMania 19. Austin was supposed to be his last match. He did come back in 2022, but that was WrestleMania 19. You got Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, 2010, WrestleMania 26. That was, I'm sorry, Michaels on the bottom. Michaels and Undertaker was WrestleMania 26, 2010. Flair and HBK was Flair's supposed last match.
I was there for that live, and that should have been his last match.
The I Love You and all that. Savage and Warrior was 1991 when they fought.
He came back too.
Yes, yes. So that's kind of why I wanted to do this too, because in wrestling, retirement doesn't always mean retirement.
That's why I'm not going to say officially, but I have no desire.
And these were, some of the biggest. I searched probably 10 or 20 different lists, and these 5 continued to come up as, the cream of the crop of retirement style matches. Now, we got Sting coming up next year. We talked about this before, his retirement match. I mean, we could probably do it the same way. Who do you think he'll fight, and who do you want him to fight? Doc, do you have a preference?
Nah. I can see. I don't know. Anybody.
I think it's going to be Darby. I wouldn't mind if it's Christian or Copeland, but I think Darby's the passing of the torch. Edge, that's a dream match of mine.
Yeah, a lot of people have had these dream matches, and WWE kind of ruined them because we all wanted to see Sting and Undertaker. That was the big thing when he came in, and everybody did, and then they both walked off into the darkness, and that was the end. That would have been a beautiful swan song for both of them. You have 2 icons that started around the same time, and then boom, gone. However, Darby, I get it, but no. I mean, I don't want to see that happen. I want to see somebody. I want to see Edge. I really want Edge and Sting. No, not gonna be MJF. No. Absolutely not. It's
surreal to even still hear Edge's music and he comes out in AEW to me. It's still weird to me because I never thought. I mean, at the beginning of this year, if I said, guys, Punk and Edge are switching companies, you'd probably think I was crazy.
Yep.
Especially the Edge thing.
I mean, I wouldn't think you're crazy because it's wrestling, but
it seemed impossible at the beginning of the year. Yeah, see, that's what I'm kind of.
That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, it's got to.
That's where I'm at with it. So I don't even need to speak on it.
Yeah, Sting lets him win. You know,
Darby can't do the shit he does in matches, though.
No,
what?
Darby can't be crazy like that because he'll kill Sting.
Why not?
Sting's been doing shit.
He kills himself, so why can't he?
I didn't think Sting would be doing the shit he's doing this year either.
I don't know, man. I'd like to see Edge, but I get where you guys coming from.
I kind of want to. I wouldn't be mad at any of those combinations, but we'll see. So the last retirement match, you know, everyone loved this one. You know, I had to put it on the screen. You guys.
Oh God damn!
We're not talking about it. I was just playing.
You know what the star of that match is?
Jeff Jarrett.
Jarrett was as soon as he walked out, dude, that crowd was so like hating him.
You know who the star of that match was?
Go ahead.
The bell ringer whenever it was over.
Oh Jesus! All right. So we got one more thing to talk about this weekend. Our sixth topic, Ring of Honor. We just discussed the fact that nothing's really big going on over there. It seemed to fall between the wayside. Shane Taylor and Keith Lee should be a banger. Tony Nese and Ethan Page are good workers. Athena's doing wonderful things over there. Blackpool Combat Club, that's a tribute match to Briscoe with him and FTR. And then I'm really interested in the TV title thing. Dalton Castle, Commander, Kyle Fletcher, Lee Johnson, Lee Moriarty, hometown boy. Kind of hope he gets it, but I don't know who the mystery person is either. Doc, you got any thoughts on who that mystery person could be, or who could win that ROH TV title?
I don't know who could be the mystery partner or the mystery opponent or whatever. But I just wanted to actually just say good luck to Shane Taylor, awesome guy, good friend. And like I said, I really hope, I hope it's a big surprise, but I know that everybody that just got released from WWE still cannot be on any other product.
It's 21st for Ali and Ziggler.
21st, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's not a bad card put together, but like we just discussed, ROH just doesn't seem like they're doing much for it.
You know what I'm most excited to see on that card, and I'm gonna be honest, I probably won't watch it until like Saturday or Sunday because I have stuff to do tomorrow after work. But I'm most excited for Tony Nese and Ethan Page, and yeah, of course, I'm probably a little bit biased because I've got to work with both of those guys. Do yourself a favor and listen to Chris Van Vliet's interview with Ethan Page. That dude is in fucking phenomenal shape. Phenomenal.
I think he's a superstar. He needs to be
fucking amazing.
That dude needs, give him some kind of storyline or something that works him into, he's got to win that match, I would think. I'd like to see Shane Taylor beat Keith Lee. They've teased. The last time they fought seems like not long ago, but it's forever ago.
Mm-hmm. I've not been on the Keith Lee train since the Royal Rumble.
Well, what about the TV thing, CJ? You pulling for Lee, maybe? But either Lee.
No, I'm not. I'm pulling for Cal Fletcher.
Fletcher's been phenomenal.
Depending on who the mystery person is, I would like Cal Fletcher.
Lee.
You got Dragon Lee, Lee Johnson, Lee Moore, all the Lees. So, we'll talk a little bit about what went down, but we're just summarizing shit here, making it easy. That is it. Me
and Monster are agreeing on a lot of stuff tonight.
Yeah, it does get the feel of it feels irrelevant, and it sucks because it is a place for those individuals to actual work still, but to have to pay, they should put that free on YouTube.
I want my friends to get a paycheck. Don't get me wrong, but again, I say it all the time. I watch wrestling differently because I'm using my brain to watch wrestling and not just based off of people I'm friends with and yada yada.
Yeah. And that's what I love about the podcast that we have. We got differences and opinions, but we just talk wrestling. So we got one last thing to cover, and that's at the end of the day. CJ Sensation, at the end of the day, your leg, your elbow, your back, your left.
At the end of the day, a lot of good. Well, I don't want to say good, but a lot of TV worthy wrestling coming up. Do your guys self a favor and watch it all, man. And for me personally, I have 5 more work days, and then I'm off until the 29th of December. So that's what I'm most looking forward to. And I promise you, I am not doing a goddamn thing.
Good for you. Good for you. Before we get to Doc, Mr. Franco, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Gabagool, what you got at the end of the day, my friend? Forget about it.
At the end of the day, if you're in the New York area, come over to the NYC Arena to watch the future of professional wrestling unfold in front of your very eyes. For tickets, you can go to our Instagram, LP Wrestling 1, I believe. And the link for the tickets will be in the description. And as soon as it's not going to be live on any streaming service, unfortunately, but as soon as the matches come out, they're going to be all over my social media feed at Last Bronx Italian. So, yeah, just
good luck, man. We'll be talking to you again soon about what happened. At the end of the day, Doc.
At the end of the day, I agree with Aaron West. The ref got screwed out of the RWA title. But honestly, watch and enjoy wrestling and have a good time, folks. And we'll definitely be here for next Thursday. Right?
2PW. Yeah, 2PW. Wreck the Halls. The link is in the description. Please do yourself a favor. Click on it. Check it out. It was an amazing show from top to bottom. You get to hear Doc on the mic. You get to hear see CJ in his final match. And, people, at the end of the day, for me, like who you want to like, hate who you want to hate, cheer who you want to cheer, boo who you want to boo. It's your WrestleSense. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan, people. Enjoy it. We out of here. No oi cunts or nothing this week, but I didn't even play the video of why he's not here, but I know I get shit on if I play the video. He's at a black tie event, I'm sure. See you in the streams, people. Appreciate y'all. Reach out to Chris Wrestling. Forget about it. WrestleSense 100 next week. Don't miss it. It's going to be a party. Stick around, I'll be live in a little bit for more LTD Fed Wrestling, people. Time to lose my voice tonight.
Eat my ass.
Nice. And good luck, Franco Costanzo.